Thanks, Mickey. Welcome to Toronto.
Oh, thanks, Frank. Appreciate it. Love being here, man.
That's good. Hey, Mickey, I want to ask you. I mean, like you're new to Toronto, obviously, but when you take over a program, in your case, special teams, what kind of identity do you want the unit to embrace?
You know, the identity I just feel for maybe who I am, and I want them to be themselves as well. But as a collective, as a group, I want people to look at us as fearless guys who are coming and they're not going to stop until that 60 minutes is up.
Now, you're being at practice. You're a very vocal guy. Is that just your personality?
Yeah, well, I feel as a coach, and you're talking not just to one guy, you're talking to the team when you're coaching special teams. So if you're making a correction, you want everyone to hear it, and at the same time, you want to bring energy to the practice because they're out there, they're working, and they're bringing their energy. As a coach, I just feel, I try to do my part, to be there with them.
Mickey, obviously this year one of the biggest changes is that 15-yard penalty for any kind of infraction within the halo. How do you coach that up to players?
Well, it's a big, that penalty alone can make a big difference throughout the game. Field position, you talk all the time about special teams, and you can win ball games because of from field position. And if you're not given that halo rule of the 5 yards, it can really strike you down, and really put your offense in a bad field position at times, or defense at times, if you're not covering properly. So, when we're covering down on our punt unit, we coach the guys up. We're giving a little extra than the 5 because we do not need a no halo call against us.
Mickey, you obviously have a relationship with Boris from your time in Montreal. Is he an even stronger kicker this time around?
Well, obviously, the way I look at Boris, as he grows as a person, he has grown as a player, and mentally, physically, this guy's always ready to go. You cannot catch him on a day where he's not ready. The one thing I really enjoyed about having him in Montreal is, we were able to work 2 years together. And we get to know one another, especially as a player and coach, and to be able to work together with someone like that, and balance with what we're doing, especially with him when he was doing all 3 phases. It's not easy. So to be able to communicate with a guy without communicating is where I felt we were at after our second year was together in Montreal.
Now, obviously, this year you've got a new punter. Well, at least you haven't had an experience with him. But this Aussie kid, he's got a booming.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He John has a strong leg. And it's great because him and Boris they're out there and they're competing with each other in a healthy competition. And also they're working together. If one guy can, I'm a big believer in iron sharpens iron, as one man or person can sharpen another. And that's what we have going on at the kicking position. Boris is always out to help, the next guy, in line or someone that's, trying to get better. And that's what this culture is all about here is, every man in this room that's competing, they're all looking to help the next man out, so the chemistry is pretty special.
Mickey, obviously, sometimes a punter can actually outkick the cover unit. What's the key in terms of what you're looking for in terms of the cover unit on the punt return? Is it hang time? Is it directional punting? A combination?
Well, yeah, there's a combination, but ideally you want the cover, right? If you can place the kick in a certain location and get the guys to cover down and not have to be out kicked, and then we're chasing a little bit longer. But if for whatever reason the punt goes and the out kicks the coverage, we got to be able to hunker down and get down and stay in our lanes, and also to be able to make that play now in the open field. And at the same time, for those guys that are the outside guys that are working down the field, not to shoot their guns too early and try to go make a play. It's really about working on condensing the returner into a smaller space, keep him from getting out to his lanes and where he wants to go, and get that second force unit to come in and make a play as well.
And Mickey, my last question is, I don't know, I think it's probably just coincidence more than anything, but your first game as an Argo is against your former team.
Mm-hmm.
Will you have an opportunity before the game to reconnect with some of your former players, or is that just strictly business on Thursday?
I'm a loving guy, and I care about every person I've ever come in contact with. And I've always appreciated everyone that's ever put their body on the line for the game that we all love. I always have respect for our opponents. It's one thing I preach to our players is we never look past our opponents and who we're playing, and we always respect them and understand, what they do well. For me, I think it's something that I just have to see on game day with that feeling.
I get it. Well, thanks, Mickey. All the best to you.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you, and I appreciate the interview.
No problem.
Next questions come from Steve Simmons, Toronto Sun.
All right.
Mickey, long time no see or speak.
Yeah, Steve, how are you?
I am well. I'm wondering, what, if anything, did you learn from Greg Marshall?
Oh, honestly, it's funny you asked me that, because no one's ever asked me, with my time with him in an interview. And this guy I have so much respect for. He brought me in just, after being a player for him for a short stint in Hamilton there. And he gave me an opportunity of something that only any coach could dream of, because when he brought me in, he really let me go with my hands on and learn from the get-go. He's a hardworking man. So, I was always taught to work hard my whole life, but to see it done by someone else while you were doing it, it just brings out that much more joy. He's a competitor, wants to win, and he does not quit. Sleeves, and you can see it on the sideline coaching. That's one thing that always stuck with me is, let the players see your emotions and let them feel it, so you can so they know how much you're also into this game as them.